Today I brought you an actual freaking legend from the rap community, Big Daddy Kane. You were kind of like a mentor to Jay-Z.
Well, I wouldn't say a mentor. You know, he came out on the road with me a lot. I think probably the biggest change is the media. Back then, you know, the rule was, to get it right. Now the rule is get it first.
What about all the latest shit on Diddy?
My take on this is...
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Droppin Bombs. Today in the studio, folks, I got a real treat for you. And you always know that I do bring you a real treat, but today I brought you an actual freaking legend from the rap community. Big Daddy Kane, what's cracking?
You got it, man. Glad to be here.
Dude, Big Daddy Kane in the house, in studio. It's not even a virtual. So it's an honor and a pleasure to be able to pick your brain.
Let's go for it.
Because you've been in the music game for a long time.
Yeah, like 37 years, I believe.
Now, you grew up in New York.
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York. Now, who was around you growing up back in those days?
Well, around me, there was a rap group named Divine Sounds. They had a big hit record in the early 80s called What People Do for Money. They lived across the street from me. And, I saw a lot of rappers, that at the time weren't out or established, but did, become successful later on, but they did live in the area. Yeah,
like you've seen them running around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And would you know that they were aspiring?
Only two I can say. And that was Jaz-O and Jay-Z.
You were kind of like a mentor to Jay-Z.
Well, I wouldn't say a mentor, but he came out on the road with me a lot back in the early 90s.
Why wouldn't you say mentor?
That's just the way I am, man. But
I would say mentor. Mentor to Jay-Z, but that's me saying it. He ain't making that claim. But again, if you know the history, yeah, dude, whether he calls you that or not, or acknowledges it or not, you were his mentor. You were a mentor. Because he wasn't big and famous then.
Who?
Jay-Z?
No. He didn't have a record deal at that time. What happened was we did a mixtape together, and I thought that he was extremely talented, so I took him on the road, and I was. Yeah,
but you took him on the road with you.
Yeah, I took him on the road.
So you were already doing it. You were bigger than Jay-Z.
At that time, yeah.
Yeah.
At that time,
and so, dude, he rolled with you, and you mentored his ass.
if that's the way you want to word it, okay.
That's what you did, dude. I'll bet. And again, I don't know the history. Are you guys still buddies or not?
Oh yeah, me and Jay are cool. He's someone that I'm extremely proud of because the world knows a different Jay-Z than I do. At the time, he was, a very quiet individual. So to see how successful he's become and, all the business moves he make, I'm like, wow, so I'm just super proud of him. So happy for him.
Well, you can't mistake his success rate. I mean, like Jay-Z, that's a big freaking name.
Oh, yeah.
And then he went and married Beyonce, who had her own huge name. And she came from what group was that?
Destiny's Child.
Yeah, Destiny's Child. And they were big as a group.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's very rare that the group, someone outlasts the group. Is it rare like that?
That's a norm. Michael Jackson did it with
Michael
Jackson 5. Lionel Richie did it with the Commodores.
Yeah, but I'd still go to the Commodores. You know what I'm saying? Like if I found out the Commodores was playing, hopefully if it was Lionel Richie.
That's when they was funky. When Lionel was with the Commodores, Lionel became more commercial solo. But as the Commodores, that's when it was funky. So yeah, I'd rather see the Commodores as well. Yeah.
Well, as we were talking earlier, like that whole artist of yesteryears, you said something like, what kind of artist was it? You used a word like artist of before or whatever.
Oh, what's it? The past.
Yeah, artists of the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the Commodores, they don't play together anymore, I assume.
There's a rendition that plays together, yeah.
A rendition or the Commodores?
Well, if I'm correct, I believe that the other lead singer passed. I could be wrong, but I believe he passed. So I mean, if there's someone else, and then
that still counts.
Huh?
That still counts as long as Lionel Richie's there and all the
originals.
No,
I don't think Lionel Richie's there. I believe
then that ain't the Commodores, is it? What about Journey? You know Journey? It ain't the same genre, but Journey, dude, had a lead singer named Steve Perry, obviously.
Okay.
Now, if you think of Journey, you think of Steve Perry singing the songs. But Journey still tours and people still go. And they got this Chinese dude. I don't know if he's Chinese or not, but I think he's a Chinese dude. And he sounds just like Steve Perry, dude. Like
he sounds just like him.
Just like him.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's something that some groups are smart enough to do.
But I always thought to myself, like, if I'm Steve Perry, I'm pissed. Like, who owned the rights to the band? Like, you own Big Daddy Kane brand. Mm-hmm. Why doesn't Steve Perry own the Journey brand? Or you know, like, I forget, was it Motley Crue? Like, I think Vince Neil had a lot to do with owning, you know, the Motley Crue brand. So, like, all these different brands and labels in the business, like, what's really going on in that industry?
Well, you know, with what you just said, Steve Perry may not have to own the Journey brand.
I don't think he does, or they wouldn't be able to call themselves Journey.
Or he could, could be allowing them to, you know.
Why would he do that? They had a bad breakup.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I didn't know they had a bad breakup. Okay. But basically what I'm trying to explain to you is that if Steve Perry he's known that way, then he may not need the Journey brand to sell tickets.
I think if Steve Perry went out and did it, whoever was a Journey fan would definitely go.
Yeah. So
but I don't think he could say, I don't think he could hire some other artist and call it Journey.
I mean, I don't think he would really have to. I mean, I've seen a lot of singers sing songs from their band catalog as a solo artist, you know? So, I mean, that's normal.
And then writing songs, you wrote a lot of songs. Mm-hmm. Now, if you write someone a song and they buy it from you and then they make it huge and it's their song, do you get paid every time or no? You sold the rights to it.
No, it depends on what type of deal you do. You know, I mean, if you wrote a song for someone and, you know, you would get your publishing, you know, your writers, you know, for writing the song. You know, but if you wrote the song and you just gave it to them for a flat fee, then that's all you would get. You know, depends on, you know, what type.
Do people do that?
Yeah, some people. I mean, there's some people that, you know, need money right then at the moment, and they'll do it that way because they need X amount of money right then. You know,
so
but the smart way would be to get your writers. That way, forever, you're getting paid off this song.
Did you know that when you were growing up, though?
Oh, no. No.
So you had to learn the hard way a lot of the things that a young artist that just showing up now might be getting screwed over.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was 19 when I got my record deal, so, you know, yeah.
And what were you doing at 19? Like, you were just running around Brooklyn and all of a sudden you started rapping, or no, you were like 14 and you and your buddies would just write lyrics? Like, how did it start for you?
Yeah, probably around like 14, 13. I started rapping in 82. But, you know, I was going around just different projects, battling people, like battling other rappers.
Freestyle? Just freestyle battle? Is there any other battle?
What do you mean by freestyle?
You know, because I like watching the freestyles where there's two people and you know, there's just a beat and then they just start tearing you up, and it's
okay,
funny,
well,
and
battle rap.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, that's what I'd be doing, battle rap. Yeah, battle rap. But yeah, I mean, I'm dissing my opponent. You know, that's what I was doing. And then I happened to one day in 1984, I got into a rap battle with another guy, and after we battled, he told me that I was dope and I should get down with him. He said that he'd be doing shows because I never performed before in my life. I'd only battled. But he said I do a lot of shows in Harlem, Bronx, Long Island. Get down with me, and I promise you one day I'm going to get you a record deal. And that's what I did. And that rapper name was Biz Markie.
Ah.
Yeah.
See, so that's how you were discovered.
Yeah, through Biz.
And did you battle him?
Yeah.
And he said, dude, you're good?
Yeah.
So you just did it just hanging around?
No, there was a guy from Long Island who used to always tell me about Biz all the time, and I got sick of him talking about him. So one day he said he was in the mall, so I'm like, take me to him. And when he took me to him, I asked Biz for a battle, and we battled. And, you know, after Biz was like, yo, you dope, man, you should get down with me.
Dude, so is there a skill to battling? I mean, there obviously is, but I mean, like, in other words, can someone learn it? Like, could you teach me how to be a legitimate battle rapper?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it really depends on, you know, how well you're listening and, you know, how well you're receiving. But I mean, there are techniques to it. It's a whole lot more to it than just knowing how to diss someone, because sometimes you have to win their fan base over.
Well, when I listen to them, it sounds like some, which are probably not the better ones. They're not like, it doesn't sound like it's coming off the top. It sounds like it's rhymes and shit they've said 100 times, and now they're just applying it for you. And it's like you hear them later, and it's like it's the same one, but now it's about you. Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, like that's almost rehearsed. I always thought the better ones. Well, there's nothing wrong with it if you can do it, but I always like the ones where you can't really tell that it's rehearsed, like it's really coming off their dome, as it were. Like I'm just making it up as we go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that there are battle rappers that go off the dome. I think there's battle rappers that have written rhymes, and I think there's battle rappers that know how to do both, where they may start the rhyme off with something that's written and finish with something off the dome, because that's what I used to do. You know, when I'm in a battle, you know, it's something that's already written, but while I'm looking at you, I see your sneakers, you know, look a little dingy. You know, I see you rocking an old school played out shirt.
This looking a little cringy.
Yeah. I look, so now I got some other stuff, you know, to attribute to it, you know, to my verse. So yeah.
So far we got cringy, we got dingy. See, like that's battle rapping almost. Dude, I did it a couple times and I thought I was pretty good, but I just thought maybe, you know, the wittier you are, the quicker you are, the better you are. You know, because you got to be quick and you know, like cringy and dingy. We didn't have to think that up. Like as soon as you said, you know, your shoes are dingy, your shirt is cringy. Now that's where I end, but you could probably keep that going.
Yeah. Well, you know, like back in the days, you know, everybody
stingy. Your shoes are dingy. Your shirt is cringy. Your whole family's stingy. See what I'm saying? What's another one after stingy?
I tell you what. Now,
I'm out of
say that rhythmatically.
What?
Say it like rhythmatically. What you just said.
Well, depending on the beat that was playing, but the rhymes are what matters. Like, dude, your shoes are dingy, right? Yeah. Your shirt is cringy. Your whole family's stingy. You're trying to get alive, but you just went bingy. Let's see, I don't know another ingy. And not only that, like I don't understand the structure to where it doesn't always have to.
I mean, we don't have to always be a word. It could have just been something like, and you sitting there trying to go against me, you never win, G. See?
Well, again,
when G rhymes with stingy,
and C rhymes with G. See,
I'm not gonna do this.
To me, it's all rhymes, man. It's rhymes. One time, dude, I needed a job in California, and someone told me, man, you can get hired as this camp counselor up at this Camp Ongo Bongo or something. I don't remember what it was called. Mm-hmm. And so I went up there and applied as a camp counselor, and they gave me the job. So now I'm a camp counselor for, I don't remember what grade they were, but they were 6, 7 graders maybe. And I wasn't much older. And so I was sitting in the dorm planning a panty raid, because that's the movies I saw. And I didn't know I'm not supposed to be taking them on, you know, panty raids. So at the end of the day, I'm battle rapping them all. And I still remember one of the lyrics that I did back then. I'm not telling you because that's like foolish, but trust me, you know, in my mind, I was a rapper only because I could rhyme. You know what I mean? But I like battle rapping. Matter of fact, I got a buddy that invented some app I think I'm going to introduce you to him. And because again, you're synonymous with battle rapping, and that's a battle rapping app. He's got a battle rapping app.
Oh, okay.
And he showed it to me, and it was like, dude, that's pretty good. And not only that, like I would log into something just to watch battle raps all day long. Like I like watching it.
No, I do too.
And I think,
I do.
And I think it's making a comeback too. Like battle rap used to be like, that's how Eminem got started, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So earlier I said, and I might be killed by the hip hop community for saying it, but when people say who's the best lyricist on planet Earth in my mind, dude, I'd say Eminem. Now, am I wrong? Who is?
That I would say that would be your opinion. I mean, I don't think anybody could be wrong. You know, you can't, challenge who someone likes.
That's a bomb right there.
You know,
you would be correct. I'd have to agree. That is an opinion.
Yeah.
But the reason I say it is because when you listen to his lyrics, which is what a lyricist is in my mind, the lyrics make sense. Like they're good. I can't even recite them, but they're good. Like it's like, because raps tell a story if you're listening. What do you think about, have you ever heard of the artist NF?
No, I haven't.
NF is a Christian-based rapper where if I threw you his music right now, dude, I'll bet you almost anything, you'd probably go, damn, that's good. I mean, his lyrics.
Okay.
So how do you become, because you're known as a lyricist, a wizard of lyrics. How do you sit there and just, do you think is it God flowing through you? Is it, creativity? What is it?
Well, let's go back to what you were saying about freestyle. I think that you become a lyricist by writing your lyrics, not by just saying anything off the dome, because that's your first thought. As a lyricist, you really have to really put your lyrics together in a way, because you have to realize that right now you're acting like an artist and you're painting your masterpiece. That's what a lyricist has to do, in my opinion, And when it comes to lyricists, there are different kinds. Like, I hear a lot of people have a debate about who's better, Biggie or Pac. And I think they're both great lyricists.
Now, out of curiosity, who would you say is better?
That's not important.
I'll tell you who I would say.
Okay.
I would say depends on the day. Because again, they're both kick ass.
I would say it depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah. Or the day. Because like I've heard some from Biggie that are like way better than, the one from Pac. But then you hear one come out from Pac and it's like, damn, dude, that was good. And I don't know if it was better than, it was equal to, like, in other words, two killer songs. One's from, and not only that, like, you never know who's really writing those lyrics anyway. Just because they sing them doesn't mean they're theirs, right?
Well, they all wrote their own lyrics, but here's why I would say it depends on what you're looking for, because it's like if you're looking for something deep, something emotional to touch your soul,
that'd be Pac.
Then it would be Pac. Pac lyrics were very emotionally felt. Biggie is the type of MC. He's the rewind button MC, where when he says something, you're like, yo, what the hell did he just say? You got to rewind it back. So it's like it depends on what type of lyrics you're looking for.
At the time, yeah, because sometimes I could be looking for that, and other times I could be looking for that. Okay. But do you ever catch up with all the current conspiracies in the hip hop communities?
Mm-hmm.
Are you like watching that?
No, not really.
You're not in it, that's for sure. Like, thank God, right?
Yeah.
Like I always ask, like, anytime I think about that industry, I start thinking about, dude, what the hell's really going on? Number one, like, go Ice Cube, NWA. Back in those days, like, it seemed like they were legitimate, gangs that turned to music and they were rapping about their life. Right. And now it seems almost like some of the rap that I hear is like, it's almost how fast you can say something, and then it's like, then the next, I don't want to call it era because it's in the same time frame. Then you get this style. There's all these styles of rapping, East Coast and West Coast. Right. And then you get the what happened to Biggie. Like, what happened? Like, you probably know what happened. Like, what actually did happen? Who shot him? And did that ever get revealed? And what happened with Pac? Like, dude, I got my daughter that believes he's still alive somewhere, and now there's a conspiracy that he is. Mm-hmm. He's actually this other artist because they're comparing it and shit. Do you ever get into any of that?
Nah, but I'm not gonna lie. With the Tupac thing, I love that. I find that very entertaining. Kind of reminds me of like the Elvis Presley days, you know.
People think that Elvis is still alive.
Exactly, you know. So
people think Michael Jackson is still alive.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard that one, but yeah, with the Tupac thing, I've heard. Yeah.
Do you believe it?
Do I believe that he's still alive?
Yeah.
No.
See, again, I like to talk to people that are like next to the sources. Did you hang out? Who are the people you hung out with the most? Like when Jay-Z got big, did he like call you and say, check this out?
Well, he asked me to be in one of his videos. He had a song called "Do It Again." You know, he had me come in to be in the video and then perform at Summer Jam with him. You know, yeah. Did
you know enough growing through the business to carve out like millions and millions, or because there's a lot of people that go through and they don't learn it quick enough, so they got paid but they didn't get paid.
Well, during my era, that type of money wasn't available. You know, it really wasn't available. Money like that didn't really exist until like I want to say like the late 90s.
Who do you think was the first one to start getting paid like that?
I believe Master P.
And how did he get around the system? Because the music industry is like venomous, is it not?
Well, you remember when I was saying about I went around battling people? That's how I came into the industry, as a battle rapper. All I wanted to be was the dopest MC. Master P came into the industry as a businessman. He didn't give a damn about being the dopest MC. He came in to do business, and he did it right. He knew what he was doing from day one.
Who do you think, like how did he figure it out? Because some people can go left thinking that's the way to go, and then some people go, no, I'm gonna go right because I want to avoid those labels to take all the money.
Well, I mean, he was a street businessman, so all he had to do was apply those tactics to the music industry. That's all.
He made a ton.
He's still making it. Yeah.
So what do you do every day? Like, what's a day in the life of Big Daddy Kane? Today, for the very first time in a very, very long time, I can say that the life of Big Daddy Kane was laying my ass in bed being lazy. It's the first time I did that, and I don't know how long. But on the norm, it's like I'm always on the phone or on a Zoom meeting, you know, connecting the dots, making things happen, you know, or last minute flying here for a meeting, last minute flying there for a meeting. You know, that's my life. Talking about music though, or do you have businesses?
Yeah.
So do you ever perform anywhere?
I perform all the time.
Yeah, you're performing.
Yeah.
Where does like the number one place you like to perform? Where's the biggest crowd gather?
I mean, normally wherever we at, you know, it's a big crowd. I mean, but as far as like favorite places I like to perform, I would base that off the crowd's energy, and I would say New York, LA, London, Japan. Do you ever battle rap? Or is that what you do? No, not no more. That's what I used to do before records.
Yeah, well, because again, I remember you from the records. I don't remember you battle rapping.
No. Well, that was, like I said, that was before records.
So do you think that's what kicked off the whole industry, battle rapping?
No, I think what kicked off the whole industry was Sylvia Robinson putting out Rapper's Delight, taking a chance to see if this hip hop thing could actually work on wax.
And it
back
worked.
In 1979, yeah.
It worked big. I still remember Rapper's Delight. I could damn near sing the whole song. So, man, there's like a million questions in my head because, like, dude, you almost started it. Like I said, like you were there back in Rapper's Delight days. You were just a kid.
I was 11 when.
Yeah, but you were just a kid. But you remember that, and you were in Brooklyn, where everybody else kind of grew up too. Like Biggie came from New York.
He came from Brooklyn.
Yeah. So what was the East Coast, West Coast beef? And again, like if you're like, I still can't talk about it because like I'm still, but I wasn't in it. I don't understand the big difference. Why did the East Coast hate the West Coast and vice versa?
I think it all started between the Pac and Biggie beef. You know,
why did they have a beef?
I mean, to the best of my knowledge, it had something to do with when Pac got shot. You know, but I believe that that's when it all started, and it just escalated to where so many other West Coast artists were against the East. So many East Coast artists were against the West
because of that.
Yeah, but I believe that that's where it all started.
I want some questions, folks. If you guys have any questions, the watchers, feel free to ask. Because I never understood the battle. Like between the two coasts. Like I like East Coast rap and I like West Coast rap.
Me as well.
But West Coast was pissed at East Coast and I didn't get it. Like why?
Well,
I always wanted to find
sides.
out.
You know, East Coast was mad at the West Coast as well. You know, so it was both sides, you know. But I'm just glad that it's over.
What about all the latest shit on Mr. Diddy? Like Jesus, what like how would you like to wake up and find out you're Diddy? Like, dude, what's your take on this?
My take on this is that's that man's business. You know, I just I don't get involved in that. You know, I think that we have a criminal justice system that I hope knows how to do the right thing and handle things the correct way. But however that goes down or occurs, it's not my business.
Yeah, I feel you. That's kind of, I mean, again, because we don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. You know, but at the end of the day, the way the media is right now, dude, is the media could make someone vilified. Like right now, he is vilified. Like there's nobody that's like, down with Diddy because of all the narrative. But that could be all bullshit too. Think about it. Like they can spin the narrative pretty easily. Not saying they did. Everybody quit freaking out. But then you've got like, what if it's all real? Well, then, dude, to me, I'm thinking that's the music industry. Like is that what's going on there? Is that how shit was? And is that how shit is? Like Bieber, like I hear so many things. Do you hear the same shit I hear? Or are you hearing like, the voicemail from, supposedly Sean to Jay-Z? Like, have you heard those? Have you seen those?
I don't, like I said, I don't get into that type of stuff.
You're on social media all day though, no?
No.
By the way, where do people follow you?
Official Big Daddy Kane.
Official Big Daddy Kane, folks. Make sure you guys go follow him.
It's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, Now.
Never is though, is it?
In that situation
That's
with
unfair.
I forget the girl name, Cassie, I believe. Am I saying this? Yeah. It's like
his ex?
Yeah. It's like, okay, innocent until proven guilty. You see a videotape of what he did. So he's guilty of that. And he finally admitted to it. With these other allegations, again, innocent until proven guilty, And when I say that, I mean that, I can't sit here and judge someone based on talks through the media.
That's right.
Because a prime example, look how the media was just trying to bury Jay-Z. And where did that go?
Well, I don't know.
It's over.
Is it?
Yeah.
I hope so.
No, it's over. They dropped the charges.
Yeah, because like, dude, I think people that bring up those kind of charges when they're not real, I think that should be a major punishable crime. Because, dude, I mean, there's people right now that didn't know that it's over, it was dropped. They won't ever know. All they know is Jay-Z did what? And it's like, wait a minute, dude, that's a man's reputation right there. And it's his livelihood. So, like, you should be a little more careful in the media before you run around talking about shit.
Well, you know, let me just say this.
Not you, by the way. I'm talking to you.
But let me just say this. There was a time when artists made music, and the music they made people feel good. It made their supporters feel comfortable. It made their supporters feel happy. It made them feel like they could deal with whatever they were dealing with, whatever struggle they was dealing with at the time. You know, there were certain songs that could get them through, you know. I've had people come up to me and say that I got them through Iraq. I got them through college, you know. And there was a time when that's the effect that an artist had on their fans and their supporters. And then at some point, it seemed like all artists started talking about how much money they get and you know, all the places they ball, and y'all ain't doing it like me. And then eventually a shift came where now the fans want to see the artist's demise. You know, because you're flexing in their face. You kind of, a lot of, you know, feel like, you know, like you're belittling them. And now I think we're at a point where there's so many people that listen to your music and want to see your demise.
That's a good point. You're damn right. That's sad too, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's sad because, you know, someone is able to become successful. I would want to know their formula as opposed to trying to find the poison to destroy them.
What do you think's changed since between then and now?
Then like, meaning?
Back in the day where, you know, it wasn't like that.
I think probably the biggest change is the media. That's probably the biggest change because with the media, you know, the rule now is like back then, you know, the rule was, you know, to get it right. Now the rule is get it first. You know? That's a good one. It's like, you know, you hear something, they put it in the atmosphere, whether it's true or not, and people feed into it and feed off of it.
Do you think that's just the music business or the hip hop music business?
I think that's everything. I think that's music business, Hollywood, sports, everything.
Do you think there's a evil like side of Hollywood? Like they say, you know, again, these are all conspiracy theories. What do you think?
I think that there's an evil side of the world, and Hollywood is part of the world.
So there's evil to everything.
Absolutely.
But there's definitely evil in the Hollywood game.
Like I said, I think there's evil in the world. So, I mean, Hollywood is part of the world. So, yeah.
Bomb right there. Dude, so, man, I'm glad you stopped by. I wish I could freaking pick your brain for hours, but, you know, how can the Bomb Squad help you with stuff? Like, in other words, how do people, like, help you?
I mean, you know, with me, I mean, you want to help me to, I guess, promote whatever I'm, you know, trying to, you know, put out towards the public, you know, because with me, one thing is like, I want to see people united, you know, I want to see people united, and I want to see artists continue to eat, you know, not continue to be successful, continue to eat, you know. Sometimes, you know, I mean, if you had a chance to be a star, that was a great moment. Enjoy that, you know. Focus on being successful and feeding your family, you know. So I want to try to help people do that. So, I mean, if there's something that I have going on, a movement, if you can support it, then yeah, that would be wonderful. I would truly appreciate that.
What was your goal? Like, what is your dream? Where do you want to? Where did you want to go from the second you were rapping and battle rapping? Where did you see yourself going? Like the best battle rapper on the planet?
Well, I would say like in the beginning of my career, it was like I just want to be recognized as the dopest MC. I want to come out with my first album and everybody just be like, yo, he's the dude. He's that one. That was probably my first goal.
Well, you hit that one.
Appreciate you.
Wouldn't you agree? You seem a little humble to admit it.
No, I mean, if you say so, then I'll accept that.
Dude, how was your faith growing up? Were you big into spirituality or no?
Islam, yeah. But
are you Muslim?
Yeah.
How, forever or
no?
What made you switch? What were you before? Christian?
Probably Baptist. I don't really remember. I know I used to go to a Baptist church at one point, but I didn't really go a lot, so I don't, probably Baptist. I can't remember.
What made you pick Islam?
We're hanging out with 5%ers in junior high, or what's middle school?
They were Muslims.
5%ers, but a division of Islam.
5%ers, is that like a freaking like elite group? I've never heard of 5%ers. What is it? I'm foolish.
Well, these are what we call the poor righteous teachers. The poor righteous teachers. You know what I'm saying? That's spreading the word. You know what I'm saying of the black man's power.
And Islam is Muslim.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's the culture.
So. And you still like go to these and study the Quran and so again, my personal belief is I don't know yet, so I'm studying. Why Islam?
I felt the strongest connection to what I believe in and what I want to see. That's why. So that's why.
My buddy's Muslim, but he's from place called Jawarish. He's read me parts of the Quran that I'm like, dude, listen, that sounds good to me. And then there's, obviously the what people think when they hear Muslim is, 911 and shit. When Islam is the difference. Because when you read and talk to the Islamic faith, there's some power there. Like, have you ever heard that the Quran, if you destroyed every one of them on earth, there's many people that could recite it word for word for word. Do you agree with that? I mean, not agree. Did you know that?
I could agree with that.
Yeah. So
I mean, I know someone who I've seen recite a lot of the Quran without looking at it. I've seen them do it on numerous occasions.
Yeah, well, I've never met them, but I've heard there's people that can recite the Quran word for word. So if it ever disappeared, got destroyed off the face of the earth, it would be back the very next day because people can recite it word for word. But yet, if you destroyed the Bible and got rid of all of it, there's no one that can recite the Bible word for word, which means it would disappear forever if that happened. The Quran wouldn't. See, again, when you start looking at like that's kind of, isn't that interesting?
Well, the Bible had different testaments, right?
66 from what I hear.
So,
there's only an Old Testament and New Testament, but yeah.
So I mean, what I'm trying to say is like, it's been changed. It's been, so it's like, basically it's the type of thing where, if you have Christian faith, if you have Muslim faith, then, what you're learning, for you to understand, for you to have an understanding of. So therefore, if these books were destroyed, these are books that you were getting your education from, creating a new form of this education, you know, I don't see, or, you know, it's like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? As long as you're dedicating, as long as you're dedicated to the faith and the belief and the understanding, because it's a book, you know, a Bible. Let's break the letters down. It can be, you know, basic instructions before leaving Earth. That's what your Bible can be. Your Quran, it can be a quick understanding regarding the law's nature. These are books. You yourself have to do the knowledge. Create your own understanding. And that's what you live by.
See, that's deep, man. That's deep. See, you were saying that I get deep on these episodes. See, that's deep. See, someone's gonna watch this and say, "Man, you guys went deep on that. That was deep, dude." Because I'm trying to figure out what's right, what's wrong. I mean, again, I don't know. I'm just seeking. I'm just looking. I was wondering what convinced you. You know, the 5%ers educated you, and you know you felt it.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so you're sleeping a lot these days. I want to know,
I
what.
said today. Don't you try to make it seem like that's a regular routine. I said today.
Oh, okay, just today.
Well,
what are you working on? Is what I meant. Like, what are you working on every day? What are you doing every day?
Well, right now, finalizing this deal for my documentary called "Paragraphs I Manifest." It's about the importance of lyricism in hip hop, and it features Lady London, MC Lyte, Snoop Dogg, Common, Jay-Z, Eminem, J. Cole. I have some of the pioneers, Grandmaster Melly Mel, Grandmaster Caz, some of the battle rappers, Averb, Goods the Animal, and it's all talking about the importance of lyricism, and you know, a lot of talking about how they constructed certain songs, and you know, their method of writing. You know, I think it's something real beautiful that music lovers would really enjoy.
When's that coming out?
Well, like I said, we're finishing the deal now.
Well, I'm sure you're gonna make it though.
Oh yeah, nah.
All right, good. Well, dude, you know, normally I'll
and then
say
also one more thing. I also have a book coming out called "Just Rhyming with Biz," where, like what I was talking about earlier, is talking about how I met him and our friendship and how he got me a record deal and our relationship throughout, you know, everything, you know, on up to, you know, when he passed. Yeah.
So again, you know, listening to the story, you were out battle rapping, you battle rapped him, and he liked you, and he said, "Dude, you know, come on tour with him." And so you started just doing shows.
Yeah, we just started doing shows, and then eventually he got with the Juice Crew, and he got a record deal. And once he did, he came back, he got me, and he told me about an idea he had for a song. Where he was going to take the "Nobody Beats the Wiz" slogan and switch it to "Nobody Beats the Biz," and how he wanted, you know, for me to put it together. And you know, I started writing for him, and you know, and going on tour with him, performing with him, and then he got me my record deal.
Did you, once you were out there doing all that, were you running into the groupies and the life? Let's say, like, you know, I don't know.
I seen a lot of interesting things.
What was the most interesting?
Her name was, let me stop, man. I mean, I've seen a lot of interesting things, man. I've seen a lot of interesting things.
Well, you only hear stories, dude, because, you know, people aren't actually behind the stage, performing on the stage. So you never get a chance to talk to the actual people that were, you know what I mean? So like a guy like me is thinking, like, how many times did you go to these concerts and these events and you could just point your finger and they'd meet you wherever you told them to?
Well, I mean, you know, that's
parties.
That's the way that the stories have been told.
But getting into parties, no, not Diddy parties, but just parties. You know, everybody knows there's freaking badass parties going on everywhere. Nobody thought the rumored events at what's his name's party, but parties, dude. Like, you had to be invited to all of them. You probably were throwing half of them. And like, what was happening at those parties? Like, I could just imagine.
We were just having a good time, man. We were just having a good time, man. I just want to see people enjoy themselves, man. You know, so that's all. We just have a good time, you know.
You ain't gonna get them to break on nothing, am I?
You know, we just going, you know, drink. You know, people drink, smoke, eat, talk shit, and swallow spit, man. That's about it, man.
Folks, listen, the guy's a legend in the industry. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Dude, I appreciate you coming in. There was no real reason that he wanted to come in other than just to freaking shoot the shit. Mm-hmm. He ain't really promoting anything, which is funny because, you know, I think you're a lifelong promoter. You've been promoting so long, it just happens. You know what I mean?
I can dig it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So folks, appreciate your time plugging in. Definitely appreciate your time. As always, till next time, kids, keep it real.